Hi guys, today we're going to be working on these smoky red hearts for Valentine's Day, and also today, February 3rd, is National Wear Red Day. It's part of the Go Red for Women Heart Disease Awareness campaign, and if you'd like to learn more about Go Red for Women, I'll include a link to that down in the information box. And if you'd like to see how I did this, just stay tuned. This is day 3 for this blue ombre and gradient manicure, and I just lost the ring finger on my right hand. Now, I did get a pretty nice, clean, accidental peel. I could definitely stick that back on there if I wanted to, but since I'm going to be washing my hair tomorrow, and that much exposure to water would probably do in the rest of the manicure, I'm just going to go ahead and take the rest off. So there's your peel porn for this video. Overall, it did wear fairly well. But as a note, I do see on my index fingers, below where I have a little bit of gel at the tip, this one actually has a pretty bad crack in it. You can see I have some staining here on the nail bed. So I'm trying to remember which exact color that was, the medium blue, but if you do use that, be wary. It does appear to stain worse than the others. You'll notice that the faint staining from Zoya Mallory is now gone, and I credit my current exfoliating scrub with that. I'm using the Zoya Sugar Scrub in Citrus, and I'm not sure if it's the slight abrasion of the scrub or possibly the citrus that helped to get rid of it, but I'm really glad that I'm not sitting here with one blue nail. So, of course, clean, dry nails. And I'm going to go ahead and apply my base coat. As usual, I'm using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peel-off base coat, and you can use whichever is your personal favorite. Next, I'm going to quickly just go over the colors. If you miss any, these will also, of course, be listed in the information box. All these are Zoya. The bright red is Carmen. The darker red is Courtney, and the black is Willa. And I'm going to be using Carmen as my base color so that it stays nice and bright in the water marble. If I were to use one of the darker colors, that would probably also lead it to be a little bit darker. You could also use white as a base, but then sometimes you might end up with little white spots if you get any unintentional bubbles in the water marble. Optional but recommended is some sort of protection. I'm going to be using Simply Peel, and if you're allergic to latex, I'd recommend tape, either the fancy nail-shaped tape or good old-fashioned regular plain old tape. As usual, for my bullseye, I'm using a 5-ounce paper cup filled with room temperature filtered water. And I'm going to build my bullseye to a total of 12 rings. Once my bullseye is complete, I'm going to draw out in 2 directions. It doesn't really matter whether you go up and down or side to side, but if your bullseye is a little bit uneven, try to split it so that the sides are kind of symmetrical, and then just draw in your heart to fit the way you drew it, if that makes sense. For the heart, I'm just going to go in from one side to the center, and then the other, and as they meet in the center, just draw it down a little bit. Dip to make sure that it's joined and there's no goobers there, and then repeat that to complete the heart. Now for this one, I wanted to add a little something different just because I do hearts almost every year for Valentine's. So I'm kind of doing a little swirl at the top, and I don't want to pull the heart out of symmetry, so we kind of have a light touch. But you see I kind of just put in a swirl at the top there. Now I'm going to turn the cup. I'm going to be dipping my pinky with the point of the heart toward the tip of my nail. And actually I think I want to just slightly, I know that was a very picky move, but okay, line your finger up, like I said, point of the heart toward the tip of the nail, and then dip in. Go ahead and clean off that excess polish so that it doesn't stick on top of your design. And once the surface is completely clear, I'm going to go ahead and slowly pull out, and hopefully you can see that's kind of dark, but there is the water marble heart. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the latex. Like I've mentioned before, if this part makes you nervous, you can wait until the polish is dry, but you know I'm a little bit impatient. And I'm going to wait until I do the rest of my nails to clean up, but I thought this was a fun little twist on just doing a stacked row of hearts. If you want more than one heart, obviously, instead of drawing in the swirl, just continue that in toward the center from each side pattern. And if you want to see an actual design that I did with that, check out my Valentine's Day playlist. Before you add top coat, you want to press any visible bubbles as flat as you can. And then, as usual, I'll be finishing with seche vite. So here's the finished manicure, and I did have kind of mixed results as far as how clear the hearts are on some of the nails. One of my favorites is actually this thumbnail, which I did intentionally place the other direction, But then I was kind of distracted and I forgot to flip the heart on my other thumb so they don't match, which is kind of irritating, but don't have anybody to blame other than myself. But I feel like this really reminds me of the way smoke curls up from like an incense stick, and some of the smoke just happened to curl into a heart shape. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of it down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed, and I do have 2 or 3 additional Valentine's Day looks coming up. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already and turn on those notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.